This video is all about the syllabus of HS final year examination. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this year Assam High Secondary Education Council decided to reduce 30% of your syllabus. So the syllabus according to High Secondary Education Council for mathematics subject, there are lots of portion which is deducted from your syllabus. So some of them are, I'm going to explain which portion of your syllabus is reduced. So from the chapter number 1, relation and function. So from the chapter 1, the portion included and the questions may come are, so for the chapter 1 is relation and functions. So the portions included are composite functions, inverse of functions, and binary operations. And you know your syllabus, the remaining portions are excluded. Okay. So from the chapter 2, inverse trigonometric functions. So there are lots of portions. Some of them are definition of range and domain, principal value branches. So these portions are excluded from your syllabus. So only included portions from this chapter is graphs of inverse trigonometric functions. So from the chapter 3, that means unit 2. So number 1 chapter is matrices. So from the matrices chapter, the portions included are concept of elementary row and column operations and invertible matrices. And the portions which are deducted from your syllabus are, so concept and notation, order, equality and types of matrices, zero matrices, transpose of matrix, symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix, addition, multiplication and scalar multiplication of matrices and all. Okay. So these portions are excluded from your syllabus. It doesn't mean that you don't need to study all these things. You should also study all these things. Then you can able to understand the portions which are included for your exam purpose syllabus. Okay. So from the chapter determinants, the portions which are included are consistency, inconsistency and number of solution of system of linear equations by example. So other portions are excluded. So you know the determinants chapter, the portion included are consistency, inconsistency and number of solution of system of linear equations by example, and the remaining portion are excluded. Okay. So excluded portions are already in your books, so you have to see on your book so that you can able to know the excluded portion. Okay. So from the chapter continuity and differentiability, lots of questions are there, but so in this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, only included portions are mean value theorem, Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem, and their geometrical interpretation is only needed. And other remaining portions like continuity and differentiability, derivatives of composite functions, chain rule, derivatives of inverse trigonometric functions, derivatives of implicit functions, concept of exponential and logarithmic functions, and derivatives of logarithmic functions, differentiations. These portions are not needed this time. Okay. But it doesn't mean that you don't need to understand these topics. So you must have to read that. But for the exam purpose, the only portions required are mean value theorem and Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem and their geometrical interpretation. Okay. So in the application of derivatives portions, the chapter 6.1 is not required to study for the final. examination. Okay, so only required to study this time is increasing and decreasing functions, approximations, and geometrical problems related to maximum and minimum values. Okay, so from the chapter integrals of unit 3, so only definite integral as a limit of sum is required this time. So indefinite integral problems like substitution method, by integration by partial fractions, so Eilert rule, these portions are not required. From the chapter application of integrals of unit 3, area bounded by two curves is only required. Okay, again from differential equations of unit 3, homogeneous equations and of the type dy by dx plus py and q, this is called linear differential equations, is required. So again from the chapter vectors unit 4, all portions are required. Okay, again from the chapter 3-dimensional geometry unit 4, the only portions required is distance of a point from a plane and angle between line and a plane. Again from the unit 5, that is from the chapter linear programming, all unbounded problems related to LPP are required. So again from the unit 6 probability, the portions included this time is mean and variance of random variables, repeated independent, so Bernoulli's trials and binomial distributions are required.